Hey, what's up guys? Sir Emanon here, and welcome to another episode of Inside DB Rated. This is the dual commentary series where we go ahead and spectate random matches on DB's ladder and just check out what people are playing. So this is going to be a match between Nesh on Virtual World versus Wiseman on Burning Abyss. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. So it looks like VW going to be winning the RPS and going to opt to go first. There's also going to be a bit of a even more relaxed video than normal, just because it's like 1 a.m. and I just finished a lot of homework. So recording quickly before we go to bed here. But the opening hand for VW is going to be Ashe, Lily, Ghost Ogre, Gigi, and Niam. So hand is definitely good. Ghost Ogre very fascinating here to me, because I do wonder what matchup this is for. I guess you can hit like Union Carrier against Drytron. You can hit Chu Chain, the mirror match perhaps. Very interesting choice. It is a 3-star tuner to just summon and like maybe trigger Nian. Also can be brought out via E-Telly. Yeah, hand very good for sure. Or hand is very good. I'm like talking in fragments right now. And then the opening hand for BA is going to be Ghost Bell, Rhino Warrior, Skullmeister, Tour Guide, and Desires. So this hand's also very good. Has 2 hand traps going second. It looks pretty similar to the top 8 LCS list run by James Frazier. Maybe this is James Frazier. But yeah, it has Desires, which is very nice, and Rhino, which some people have cut in their BA lists. So yeah, good to see it here. But this should be a pretty good back and forth. Going to normal summon Nian and then activate the Lily targeting it. That's going to summon itself by sending a copy of Qinglong and Xuanwu. Then going to activate Qinglong in Graveyard, which will be changed to with Meister. Then going to be activating Gigi, targeting the Nian Yan, and that's going to be actually Ghost Spelled. So that's a pass, yeah, because these don't make anything. Xuanwu has nothing to bring back. Already normal summon the Nian. Yeah, there's just nothing to make here. So for turn, the BA player is going to top deck a copy of Call by the Grave, which is quite good actually, because either Tour Guide or Desires was going to be ashed. So that is about as good of an answer as you can hope for. Going to activate Desires here. That's going to banish 10. And then going to drop Ashe and then chain Call by to negate Ashe. So that's pretty strong. And that picks up a copy of Olympic and Solemn Strike. So yeah, Strike being in here is pretty indicative of this being almost identical, if not identical, to the top 8 list, because they were on Strike as well. The banishes were Droll, Graf, Desire, Strike, Graf, Nibiru, Skarm, Seer, Droll, and Farfa. So banished 2 Graf, but there's still 1 left in deck, and longtime BA players are used to playing with 1 Graf in deck anyway, so it works out, right? That's kind of a blessing there for having played with 1 Graf and Seer for such a long time. But we're going to continue on here. Going to normal summon Tour Guide, use the effect to summon a copy of Graf, and then overlay for a copy of Dante. And then activate Dante effect, that's going to detach the Graph, and then mill 3 for cost. Those are some really good ones, wow. So we can trigger potentially 4 effects. Probably not going to use Seer, but everything else is fair game. Also, Ogre is, on the topic of Ogre, it's not great against BA. Never really has been. But Libic, going to be chilling 3, it looks like. So Libic summon out Libic. And then looks like Rhino was chilling 2 to send Skarm, and then Graph was chilling 1 to summon out Seer. So pretty good. Gonna go to battle phase and attack over the entire board, dealing 700, 113. So that should be 21 if I'm not mistaken, bringing Nesh down to 59. Yep, there we go. And then main phase 2, gonna go switch Dante to defense. Oh, at the end of battle phase, I should specify. But gonna link summon a copy of Masquerena, and then trigger Seer and Dante in sequence. So Dante is gonna bring back a copy of Seer, and then Seer specials Dante. And then going to pitch Seer to overlay Beatrice. And then going to set Strike, and then end phase activate Skarm for Tour Guide. So at least 3 interruptions for BA, potentially more if they play like Aerial, which is like a really cool tech choice. But that's going to be a pass from there. For turn, oh, the top deck's going to be another copy of Ogre. That is not ideal. Going to activate Xuanwu, at least that's live now. So that's going to target Lily, summon itself, or summon it rather, and then pitch the Ghost Ogre. And then thinking on summon, a Wiseman's going to use Beatrice here. So it's going to detach Dante and then mill a copy of Farfa. So going to grab both of those effects. So Farfa going to banish Lily till the end phase. And then Dante going to add back Seer. And then Gigi going to be normal summon. That's going to trigger the Nian Engrave. Going to chain Masquerade into that. Oh, they said, oh my bad, didn't see Nian in chat. Continue. Fair enough. Nesh gonna let that happen as well. So Nian does come back. No Masquerena here. Yeah, I understand kind of the line of thinking, I think. Because if there's nothing and this is the only VW and that's the normal summon, then like you unicorn spin this so they have nothing to target with the last card in hand if it is a VW name. But now if you unicorn spin one of these, you know, there's still a fair target for the last card, which could be a VW. So yeah, I like the fact that that play affected the kind of line here. I mean, obviously it was going to, but going to overlay into Fortune Tune, and then go in battle phase, attack into Beatrice, take 24. So going for Zeus. Main phase 2, gonna overlay Zeus. Yeah, it's just gonna be met with strike. Even if it's not gonna be striked now, it's gonna be striked whenever. End main phase 2, going to pass. The Lily should come back here in the end phase. I guess they missed it. For turn, the top deck is gonna be Skullmeister. Maybe they catch it here. Thinking in standby, nothing. Alright, so they don't catch it. That is pretty awkward, but yeah, the Lily should be back. But I think BA has this game regardless. Going to normal summon Tour Guide, use the effect to summon out Farfa. This should be a telltale sign that there's like some sort of response to Zeus, because there's no way you commit this hard to a board when you have like a clear way to go into Unicorn if you want to. So I mean, this strike is somewhat telegraphed, but Zeus is going to be activated anyway, so that's going to be striked. And that's going to be the end of game 1. So yeah, even though Lulu would have come back, Access Code clears it. So not really that big of a deal. But BA going to take game 1 here, so we're going to move now into game number 2. And Virtual, we're going to start things off again. If you guys are enjoying this commentary, definitely be sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more commentary similar to this style. But the opening hand for VW this time around is going to be Double Gigi, Gamma, E-Tilly, and Qinglong. So the hand is definitely very good. Very, very playable for sure. Nothing much to say. And then the BA hand is going to be Farfa, Double Nibiru, Skarm, and Tour Guide. So this hand has Nibiru, but I think VW has gotten to the point where with Xuanwu and Tutu, like Nibiru by itself is not really ever going to be enough, I don't think. As long as VW opens like even remotely playable. Gonna activate E-Tilly, that's going to summon out a copy of a Lulu from deck. And then going to activate Gigi, that's going to target the Lulu, sorry. Gonna summon itself and then send Qinglong. And then from here, going to activate Qinglong to grab a copy of Lalo. And then activate, oh no, okay, that was a misclick. So they want to add a Lily. I was going to say, because Nesh missed the discard there for Qinglong, but decided to add a Lily instead. But still misses the discard off Qinglong. Hopefully they catch this one. Okay, yeah, they do. Okay, so yeah, Gamma going to be the pitch. But yeah, obviously that was going to be the discard. Lily target the Qinglong. That's going to summon itself by sending Xuanwu and Yan. Really, really good sends. Like these are amazing sends off of this card. Going to synchro into a copy of Vermilion. Yeah, because Lulu hasn't been used yet. It was brought up by E-Tilly. So you can banish it, pop Vermilion, and then Vermilion add back the Lulu, and then go from there. Yep, so going to do that, Vermilion pop itself, add back Lulu, and then activate Lulu effect. That's going to target the Gigi. Gonna attempt to activate Nibiru, but it looks like it was not enough summons. E-Tilly was 1, Gigi was 2, Lulu was 3. Yeah, this is 4. This is only 4 summons. So this Nibiru actually is not alive yet. I accidentally counted Nian. Yeah, Nian wasn't used yet. Also, I want to bring this up because it actually came up in a video a couple of days ago, but people really should refrain from saying this word as like an insult. Even if it is like self-deprecating, it's not an appropriate word to use unless it's describing what it's actually supposed to. So just I just want to make the community not use these words without meaning. Sorry, I'm a little bit tired, but I think you get my point. But we're gonna move on from that. Going to go for Lulu effect. That's going to send Chuche, and then go for Kowloon. And then going to activate Chuchi, that's going to raise Gigi by 3. Wow, I am getting all my names confused. So that's going to go for Claw Castle, and that effect is going to bring back the copy of Vermilion. And then going to go for Calamities, and then activate effect, that's going to declare light, and then chain Nibiru to that. I think Nesh can play past this, because Xuanwu is crazy. So we'll see. So token gets summoned. Activate Xuanwu, that's going to summon Lulu, and then pitch Kowloon off of that, and then trigger Nian, and then normal summon Gigi, because we haven't done that yet. And then going to go for a copy of Stardust Charge, and oops, Stardust Charge going to draw Desire. Okay, that is a crazy top deck. I mean, Nesh already had a second VFD access as long as there's 2 Cloud Castle, but Desires is just the cherry on top. So that's going to banish 10, and then that's going to draw Lily and Lalo. Okay, so even draws the last name that hasn't been used. That is a crazy, crazy draw. Let's see what was banished. Playing Prosperity in the list, that's pretty cool. Good to know. Banishes the other 2 Lulus and the other 2 Kowloons. So there's not going to really, I don't think, be a way to end on Shuche here. I could be wrong, though. Going to Synchro into another Cloud Castle, yeah. I think 2 Castle is very good. Nian going to bring, or put back the Chuche, and then bring back Vermilion. And then activate Lao, targeting the Qinglong, that's going to summon itself. Sending Tutu, actually. And then summon the Lili. Interesting, so I thought Nesh was going to summon back the Gigi and go for like a Shen Shen, because it is BA, and like that card really, really is good against BA. But maybe going for a different line here. Probably M7 if I had to guess, because that card's also really good. Gonna overlay, yeah, for M7. This card is super, super sick. But that's gonna add back Gigi for more follow-ups. And then going to overlay for a second VFD. And then end phase Gigi, add back Lulu. So yeah, I actually like the decision as well not to use Vermilion to pop the Nibiru, because it is BA, so having any non-BA monster is just like an enormous pain to deal with. But also just the fact that like you could now afford a shotgun this and not fear Gamma or Imperm. Because this card is just game against BA, especially with this hand. So gonna pass and then draw a Graph Return. Gonna use VFD, that's gonna call Dark, and that is the end of game 2. Very much so. Yep, so moving into game 3 with VW tying up the series here. Pretty good match, for sure. So BA gonna opt to start in game number 3. And also just quickly before we start, want to shout out my patrons. So thank you very much for supporting the channel. The long form consistent content is made possible thanks to you guys. And if you want to help support the channel, definitely be sure to check it out in the description below as well. But we're going to go ahead and look at the hands here. So the opening hand for BA going first is going to be Rhino Warrior, Tour Guide, Ash, Graph, Callby. This hand is pretty good. It has kind of not the most ideal start because Tour Guide turn 1 is always risky, but it'll get the job done for sure if it resolves. And then the opening hand for VW is going to be Nibiru, Kowloon, Lulu, Gamma, Lala. Oh, okay. So this hand is also really good. Nib Gamma, very, very strong. And also the 2-card combo, Lulu, Kowloon, is like very, very infamous. But this should be pretty interesting. Get an OS7 Tour Guide, use the effect. That's going to be Gamma. And Wiseman decides to Ash this. And I think that's actually pretty good, because I think Gamma is not going to be as impactful for the rest of the game, or at least this turn. Going to summon Graph off the Tour Guide, and then overlay for Dante. Dante effect, that's going to detach Graph, and then mill 3, and then use Graph effect. That's going to summon out Seer. Interesting to mill 3 here, actually. Probably trying to fetch for like a Skarm for follow-up. But like in Trap BA especially, I think like milling 1 is usually really good, just because like, you don't want to mill resources. But in this kind of build where it's like a lot of hand traps, well, I guess it's debatable. But I mean, in the trap build, you have like Trap Trick to manage too. But I digress. We're going to move forward here. So Masquerade going to be summoned. That's going to trigger Dante and Graph. Also, Nesh deciding not to Gamma the Graph there, I just noticed. Probably postulating that there's just another BA to make Beatrice anyways, like just hard make it. And probably wants to just activate Nibiru, because Beatrice would have been in 4 summons. But yeah, Seer and Dante going to be activated here. So Seer summon back the Dante, and then Dante add back Graph. And then pitch Graph for Beatrice. Interesting to not add back Seer there. I guess they just get it back anytime with this Dante, so it's not a big deal. Going to set Call by the Grave, and pass from there. Going to actually activate Nibiru at the end of main phase 1. So that's going to clear the board. Yeah, Dante add back Seer anyways. And then that is going to summon the Nibiru. And then from here, it is Call by against this hand, and I really think that VW just has it in the bag here. Gonna top deck Nian Nian. Kowloon gonna be activated. That's going to place Chuche face up. And then activate Lulu, targeting the Chuche. Summon itself by sending a copy of Qinglong, and then search for a copy of Lili. And then going to activate Lili effect. That's going to target the Lulu. So that's going to send another Qinglong and a Xuanwu. Going to synchro summon a copy of Vermilion. And then activate Vermilion effect, banishing the Lulu. That's going to hit the back row. Going to chain it. It's Called by the Grave. Going to hit the Lili here. Nesh is thinking uncalled, so he could change Xuan Wu. Not sure if it's needed, but it's an option. He elects not to use it, so gonna let that resolve. Qinglong going to grab Gigi, and then send Gamma. So the gang is all here. Literally all the VW names are in circulation. Going to normal summon Gigi, and then send Nian, activate Gigi, and then send Nian. And then normal summon Nian, trigger the Nian in graveyard, and then go to battle phase. Yeah, that is game. Chuche pop the token, and then just attack for game. And so Virtual World going to be taking this match 2-1. Very interesting. It's always cool to see BA in this format. One of my personal all-time favorite decks. I think that yeah, the hand was just too strong from Virtual World, honestly. Like BA played that fine, I think. But overall, like it's hard to beat Nib, Gamma, Lulu, Kowloon, and then like another VW. Very, very tough. This deck is just incredibly resilient and super strong. This is an absolute terror. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. I'm just going to go to bed after this. Subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me with the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.